Welcome to the United States of Tiffany. Our commentary offers a humorous take on wrestling. Please note, we're not bullying or attacking the wrestlers. We're engaging with the choreographed sport and its storylines. Our jokes and observations are about the characters and storylines, not the real people behind them. Tourists and citizens alike, welcome. Enjoy the show, and remember, it's all in good fun.
Hello, everybody. I hope that you can hear me. I'm using my headset, so things might be a little choppy, but just let me know if the sound is okay. I'm going to turn off this fan so it's not so much feedback in the video. And we're going to get started. Top commenter of the day. If you're new around these parts, I give out a little shout out every time we have a top comment of the day. So let us see who our top comment of the day goes to. Top commenter of the day goes to Daniel Spencer. He said, nah, he didn't whoop their ass. I was rolling too. And it was such a good time to watch SmackDown. I mean, Monday Night Raw today. I always get them mixed up sometimes, so please don't bother me. But shout out to you, Danielle, for coming in here and giving me all the tea. Okay, right when the show went live. Okay, she came in. Then Lewis. Then we have Drizzy Dre and Kayla as always. And then we're going to round out the top five with Life with Jay. My day was fine. Thank you for asking. Hello. So we're going to start from the end and work our way back to the beginning. Now, if you want to be top commenter of the day and get a shout out, all you have to do is come in right when I go live. And you too can get a shout out later on, probably sometime next year. We will be giving out membership for those who come in early and on time. So appreciate you. And we're getting ready to get into this show. So we have to start at the end. Tarantino, giving Tarantino the shit because, well, that really was the biggest thing that happened on the show, sans a few other things. But this was the marquee. This was the main event. This was the final boss, if you will. Solo Sikoa was delivered to the tribal chief, and he was not mad about it. He actually was ecstatic. He asked Buffalo to acknowledge him, and then he proceeded to do everything in his power to humiliate, berate, and break down Solo. So much so that Solo was attacked by his own cousin Jacob Fatu, beaten down, and the tribal chief still was berating him in the middle of that ring. I have never been the one to like when I see a man being emasculated. I don't like it. It makes me feel icky. I know it's a storyline. I know it's not real. I know what it is. But even if I was watching this on television in a movie or a television show, I still would feel icky about it. Okay? I still would feel icky. I still wouldn't like it. And I'm just not a fan. But I will say this. Overall, the segment did what it was supposed to do. We saw a lot of Solo being beaten down by his cousin, his brothers, and of course his big cousin. And then as they got him on the ground, he's laid out, he's coughing, gasping for air, he's being berated. LA Knight shows up, and LA Knight is a difference maker. This happened before Solo and them came out there. He ran into LA Knight, and it looked like they were just having their own little verbal conversation or non-verbal conversation. And this led to what was going to happen later on tonight. LA Knight came out there to stop this. And of course, he ended up being the one on the receiving end of a brutal attack, not only from the Usos, but also from Jacob, to which Roman forced Jacob to quit, and he continued to beat on LA Knight. Then he had them grab LA Knight and hold him up, and this is where the change happened. LA Knight was getting ready to get destroyed, and it looked like Solo was going to comply with what the tribal chief requested, but he didn't. He ended up taking out the tribal chief instead of LA Knight. Of course, the twins were shocked and completely appalled by what they saw. And because Jacob was told not to move by the tribal chief, he stayed in the corner and did not move. He didn't attack, he didn't do anything. Roman Reigns was laid out, and the twins decided to go on the attack, and Solo went to work. He got rid of both twins, took them out, and he ended up just busting them up on the outside of the ring. LA Knight was able to recover and got into it with Roman. Roman thought he was going to be able to hit LA with his Superman punch again. This time, LA caught it and hit Roman with a BFT. It's pretty nasty. This all happened while Jacob Fatu was in the corner, not moving. Now, prior to all of this, when Solo was delivered to Roman Reigns, we got a ceremonial situation. You see, when Jacob finally came into the fold, Jacob was given a brown ulafala. It was pretty earthy and really nice looking, right? Well, the Usos are considered captains to Roman. So a disrespect to them is a disrespect to Roman. And Roman has given them pure black Ulafalas. Not gonna lie, the Ulafalas looked really cool. They looked really cool. Now, once they got indoctrinated into the fold again, this led to Roman Reigns, of course, going absolute full Nino Brown on Solo Sokoa. Now, Solo made a choice, and that choice is probably going to have stern consequences, but he chose his own path. He doesn't want to be under Roman's rule anymore. And he understands that if he comes back to the fold, that this means that he will have to not only serve Roman, but he will be under the thumb of the twins and Jacob. And his pride won't let him do that. So now we have a problem because Solo was running around free, even though he agreed that if he lost that match to Jey Uso, that he would come back to the fold. However, he has an ally in LA Knight, and I think very soon he will have another ally in Royce Keys once he returns. Now, I don't know how this is going to play out, but I've been saying this for a while. I see this heading into war games inside that cage. And we all know that Triple H books war games to be very one sided. It is always a repeat offender. When it was in NXT, Undisputed Era were the only people to compete in that War Games match. They never chose anybody else. But when it came to the main roster, it is now the Bloodline who competes in that match, some iteration of it. If it's not full on Bloodline members, it's usually a combination of the Bloodline members and top guys. The only iteration of that War Games match where it's not the same people competing in the match fully and completely is the women's War Games match. That's the only time where the roster can completely shift and only one or two people are repeat offenders in that match. But that's where I see this heading. Even outside of Money in the Bank and Sunday Night Main Event, which I'm pretty sure Roman Reigns will be booked for. This is Atlanta, by the way. And Roman is also still considered a hometown boy, seeing as how he went to college there. We already have Braun Breaker's match booked for Atlanta, which we'll get to in a second. And we have Cody Rhodes, another hometown boy, who is also booked for Atlanta to face off against Randy Orton. With that being said, if I had to give this segment a rating, I'd give it a cool 8.5 out of 10. I think that it did its job. It was really, really interesting to watch. It was very disheartening to watch Solo be beat down like that. I don't like that at all. But it was for the storyline, and for that I can respect it. But I hate when men get emasculated on TV like that. I hate it. Anywhoosies. This ending had me in my feelings a little bit. I felt myself getting upset at first, but I'm glad on how it turned out. I agree. Because honestly, I wasn't okay with Solo being treated like that. And I know it sounds really bad, but like I don't like that. I just don't like it. I didn't like it when it happened to Jacob. I don't like it in that regard either. Hello, Kira. How are you? Roman got his ass whooped tonight, though. Like, wow, he did. And it was deserved. And he was very mad at the crowd for loving on Solo and being really into him and his character and his funny. He's very pissed. And I'm just like, well, so we back to Nino Brown, huh? We you couldn't wait to no longer be the baby face. You couldn't wait. Hello, Wolf 990. How are you? Hello, Aaliyah. All right, we're caught up on comments. It would have taken less time to become a captain in the actual mafia. Jesus Christ. To be honest with you, they hadn't done anything prior to this to deserve to be considered captains if we're being fair. Now, I do like how Jacob was rewarded for his efforts, but Jacob was not okay with what just happened in that ring. He didn't like how they got rewarded for that. But if we're going to look at it from Roman's perspective, right? The twins took initiative. They knew that Roman was still waiting for Solo to come back into the fold. And it wasn't good enough in Roman's eyes. And he didn't chastise Jacob for not bringing Solo back. He definitely gave the twins their props for doing something that was requested of Jacob. But he didn't chastise Jacob or make it seem like Jacob was a weak link. But he was not happy that the twins were being rewarded for their efforts, even though they did do something that Roman asked them to do. With that being said, let's move on to the matches that happened tonight. So, this by far was the best match of the night. I really love this match. I didn't think that I would, but I was happy that it happened. These two put on a really good show, and when Rey Mysterio is actually locked in, he can do some amazing things depending on who he's going up against. And when he's going up against someone like Chad Gable, the sky's the limit. And they really did an excellent job in this match. I don't know who produced it, but whoever did, hats off to you because you did a great job booking this match and getting it. And this was Gable's very first title defense since winning the championship from Penta at SummerSlam. And boy, was it a stellar title defense for him. He was able to thwart one of the greatest wrestling luchadors of all time in Rey Mysterio. And Rey Mysterio almost stole this title from him. He almost was able to end this wonderful run that Chad Gable has been on. But of course, Chad Gable was able to recover and get the dub on an ankle lock. And I wish he did it, he hesitated at first to put the ankle lock on Rey Mysterio. But as the match continued and he realized that Rey was going to keep coming and keep coming, he locked that ankle lock in and he did not let that man go. So it was nasty work with that ankle lock, but it gave him the success he rightfully deserved. And he is still your Intercontinental champion. Okay. So congratulations, Chad Gable. We're all proud of you. You did a wonderful job against the OG, and the sky's the limit. And I'm curious as to who your next opponent is going to be. I'm so okay with him being mad. I love it actually. When he's upset, he doesn't know what to say. All right. Let's move on to another good match. This match was actually pretty good. That Sea Hag was out there with Sol Ruka, and they actually were battling. You know, this was not an easy feat for Sol Ruka, but she did get the W for the most part. Lyra Valkyria is so unhinged and so hyper fixated on getting back to that women's intercontinental championship that she lost the plot during this match. She thought she had everything in the bag and that Sol Ruka was just a flash in the pan that she could just dominate. And she underestimated her opponent, which caused her to lose. Lyra Valkyria lost her match and Sol Ruka is now vying for that Intercontinental Championship, and rightfully so. She shouldn't have had to go through Lyra to do that. They should be getting automatic rematches, especially since Cody's been given multiple automatic rematches, but everybody else has to work for theirs. Interesting. Hello, Brandy. All right. This was a part of the tournament. I believe this is El Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr. and Dragon Lee. Dragon Lee was able to advance against Dr. Wagner Jr. And while I can honestly say I wasn't fully invested in this, I kind of figured where it was going to go. And I predicted this tournament all the way down to the final two. And I think that Penta is going to be the one who's actually going to win. So moving out of this, because this is not what I wanted. This right now is the current standing. Sans Dragon Lee and Ray Phoenix winning their opportunities to compete next week. So Dragon Lee is going to compete against Ray Phoenix in the semifinals, and Penta is going to compete against La Parca in the semifinals. I believe it's going to come down to Ray Phoenix and Penta for the finals. And then Penta is probably going to beat his brother, and he's going to go on to face off against Roman Reigns for the World Heavyweight Championship in Mexico. Okay. I kind of figured it was going to go this way from the time they announced who was going to be in this match. I'm like, I see where this is going. I know where this is going. It's fine. It's cool. It's good. It's good. It's good. The tournament is always going to be a good time. So make sure you guys just look out for the tournament and watch the matches. It's very important that you watch the matches. If you don't, and the ratings go down during this time, they'll stop booking AAA people on the show or specific people. And I don't want them to do that. They add a lot of zip and fun to Raw, and I enjoy them being there, honestly. Now, we had another World Heavyweight Contenders match. El Fiscal and Ray Phoenix battled, and Ray Phoenix was able to defeat El Fiscal. Gerard saw him, and he said he looked like a Power Ranger, which, respectfully, I agree. He do look like a Power Ranger. That's the first thing I thought of when I saw him in AAA. I was like, who is this Power Ranger? Then they explained who he was, and I was like, oh, okay. Wonderful. Love that for you. So there was a lot of male matches happening here, but we didn't really get a lot of women's matches other than Lyra and Sol Ruka. Now, what we did get was a confrontation between Stephanie, Liv Morgan, and her goons. And I'm just going to save you the long diatribe and bullshit. Stephanie called out Liv Morgan and told her she wanted her title back and that she wanted her to bring her ass out there so she could beat her down. And of course, Liv Morgan wasn't trying to hear that. She claims that she beat up Stephanie and Stephanie's just mad to sit at home and watch her on TV walk around with the title that she beat her for. The reality is that Stephanie is not lying when she says it always takes three of you to beat her. And that's just sticking your craw on its own. It should be something that you should never want to hear when it comes to in regards to that title. But she ignores it. She bypassed it. She went into this diatribe of all she cared about was the title. And I don't think that Roxanne or Raquel even cared about what she actually said, never gave a thought about what she actually said. She said, all I care about is this title. That's what she said. Not the judgment day, not my girls, not my family. All I care about is this title, and words have meaning. And instead of them listening, they just glazed over it like they didn't hear what she really said. Now, of course, Stephanie told Liv she didn't want to hear that shit. She want to beat her ass. And if you ain't scared, why are you all the way back there while I'm in here? So if you're not scared, get your ass in this ring and take this ass whooping. So Liv gets on the apron, and so do her homegirls. They all go up there, and she's just like, "You're gonna regret it," and they get into it. At first, Stephanie's holding her own, but of course, the numbers game gets the best of her. And as they continue to beat Stephanie down, Becky Lynch comes out and almost evens the odds. She gets everybody out the ring, and Stephanie tells her, "Look, I don't need you out here." Becky, like, I came down here because they all gonna be jumping you, and you know how they are. They pack. They move in the pack. They're gonna attack you, and eventually they're gonna attack me. So I came to get a preemptive strike. And as she turned around, Stephanie turned her around again. This led to Liv being able to take out Becky, and they also took out Stephanie. And once again, Liv Morgan is standing tall with two people by her side who truly do not understand their own power or their own security enough to be able to stand on their own 2 feet and let Liv Morgan fight her own battles and put out the fires that she fucking started. Okay? Now, as you watch the show, Stephanie was in the back, and Becky walked up to her and was like, "Congratulations. You literally are out there. I'm trying to help you, and you're out there getting your ass kicked. You know how they move." Stephanie was like, "I didn't ask for your help. I don't need your help. I never needed your help." She was like, "You know what? That's fine. Good luck on your match next week. You know how they operate. I mean, after all, you're going to be facing off against three of them. So I hope that you're ready and you prepared to go at it because you're going to need it. Good job. Good job." She basically told her, Stephanie was like, "You need to stay out of my way and get away from the title." She said, "As long as you are going after that title, you are going to be my problem. But good luck next week because you're going to need it." She walked away. For once, Becky actually makes sense. It would make sense to kill two birds with one stone. The enemy of my enemy is my friend, or is he my enemy? My main goal would be to take care of her specifically, to get rid of whoever is coming after me. So it's just me and homegirl. So just like Liv Morgan made it very clear to take out Stephanie Vaquer because she didn't want to face off against her again. If I were Stephanie, the first thing I would do would be attack Raquel Rodriguez and take her out. So that when I do face off against her, whether it be at Sunday Night Main Event or in Money in the Bank, I can take her out and specifically target Roxanne Perez and make her watch me destroy her homegirl piece by piece. And I would continue to attack them every chance I got with a chair, with whatever I can find. I would be preemptive striking them. No matter how many matches they had, I would cost them everything. Raquel's title would be my first attack. As soon as she has a title defense against Soruka, I'm taking her out before the title could even happen. Or I'm going out there and costing her the match. Because every time we turn around, Judgment Day are always interfering in everybody else's shit. Always. And that happened tonight again with JD McDonough and Dominic Mysterio, which I'll get to in a minute. So if you ask me, there's enough karma built up where they can start living in their truth. You know what I'm saying? With that being said, I don't know what they're going to do, but I hope that they book them for Sunday Night Main Event. But Becky comes out and causes a bit of a distraction. You know what I mean? We'll see how it plays out. Now, after they went back from commercial break and they came back to the show, there was an impromptu match. Something happened on social media because I don't know what it is with Netflix, but the little stuff that happens backstage, they don't show anymore. They used to when we first started watching Netflix and you had the premium package, you could watch all of those backstage segments, those outside segments where they were coming out to the arena to talk to the fans or do whatever, like the little Danhausen segments back a couple years ago when it was New Day segments, the stuff that they were doing with Obafemi before he really started to take off. Javon Evans used to do those lightweight segments. Like those usually are like story movers. They're story fillers. They give you little pieces to help make the story continue on. And I've noticed that they don't show us those anymore. We have to go to social media to see it. And they decided that this week Dominic was going to come out and continue bitching about not being in a tournament. I don't understand why that's something that you're hyper fixating on when you've got a whole title and feud situation in AAA. And here's where I think WWE is making a major, major mistake, right? So I think WWE should be getting El Grande Americano to be showing up on Raw where Dominic Mysterio is, attacking him and making the feud even more volatile. It needs more legs. And I'm not saying that it can't be physical or it shouldn't be physical, but a lot of the physicality, a lot of the feud takes place over on AAA. They don't do anything on Raw at all. And I think that's where their biggest mistake is. I think that they need to start putting pressure on Dom, just like there's pressure on Liv Morgan. That is the only way that you're going to begin to break Judgment Day down. That's the only way that's going to happen. But that's just me. So, as they were complaining, Javon Evans came out and demanded that Big Cass come out because he was tired of his shit. This led to an impromptu match with JD McDonough and Javon Evans. A solid match in its own right. Javon Evans was able to pick up the win, but Big Cass, bitch ass, came out there and attacked Javon Evans. Javon Evans got the drop on Big Cass, but Dominic Mysterio interfered and threw Javon into the ring post. This laid him out, and this gave Big Cass all of the momentum to be able to ragdoll my nephew all through the arena. It was bad. I hated every moment of that. I don't know what they're going to do with this, but at some point, Big Cass has to be put in a match, and you have to stop letting him attack people like this. It's insane how much the storyline goes when it comes to certain people. There's no repercussions. There's no demand to stop doing it. Like Adam never is mad at anything Big Cass has been doing, yet he gets irate when Braun Breaker's running around attacking people. Speaking of Braun Breaker, I don't know if you guys saw it, but that entire backstage segment with the Vision was cringy as fuck. Maxine, you have fallen so far from grace. I don't even know what to do with you no more. Like y'all sitting up there calling people fat and talking about how they got squashed and how I don't want nothing to happen, like thinking they can even contend with my bad boy. And then he's talking about, oh my God, my delicious Maxine. It's like, bitch, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Are y'all okay? How is you cool? Like, where are we? Are we in the Twilight Zone? I just I need Maxine to stop acting like a lovesick fucking sugar mama. And I need Austin Theory to please dial it back. Just please. It's gross. It's not sexy at all. It's nasty. Okay. I don't know about y'all, but it's just giving mommy kink. And as much as I don't want to shame the kink community, the mommy kink just does not sit right in my spirit. That I might be wrong. I'm not trying to hurt nobody's feelings because if that's what you like, I'm not telling you that ain't what you're supposed to do to get your rocks off. Okay, you do you. You live your best life. If you like sucking on your thumb or calling your woman mommy in bed, then you do that. You do that. You make sure you scream it loud and proud. Okay, but I don't like that. I don't like that. That's instant Sahara for me. Okay, I don't like that at all. That is gross to me. Okay. Now I can understand how some people can equate it to the daddy stuff, okay? And I understand. So I'm not shaming you. I'm just saying it don't sit right in my spirit. Okay, but it gives mommy kink, and that gives me the ick immediately. Plus, I don't like how Maxine is so intertwined with this man. She has no prospects to do anything else. She has no goals, no ideals, no nothing. Bitch, it's 2026. It's 2026. You're a former intercontinental champion. You should be trying to go back after your championship, not sitting up here rubbing on Austin Theory's dick all night. Okay? Worrying about Akira Tozawa and Otis getting beat up every night. If that's your only aspiration, then girl, girl, we are in trouble. Do you hear me? Trouble. My God, today. Anyways, not vehicular homicide. Hello, Donnie. So cringe, delicious. Get him out. It's so lame. I don't like it. I don't like it. It's like it's giving 80s. But you know what, Don? You can give 80s. How come you can't do like they did with Miss Elizabeth and oh God, Macho Man, but make it modernized. How come you can't do what they did with Nadia and Jamie Noble, but give her her own thing? You know what I'm saying? Like I was thinking about it the other day, and I was talking about just to go off on a tangent a little bit. I was thinking about Chelsea Green and her situation over on SmackDown. The smart thing to do would be to make Matt Cardona be her bodyguard while she's got that face mask, and then let her stay face for a little while and slowly but surely transition Chelsea back into being a heel. And then you have them being a husband and wife duo running rampant on the roster. He runs interference. Chelsea gets the cheap wins. It's going to be instant gratification every time. Let her have a long title reign. Do you hear what I'm saying? And she should transition from face to villain as she is in her championship reign. It's perfect. Matt Cardona isn't having a feud right now on the roster. And even if he starts one with Miz, which we did see on a WWE exclusive on X. Like, even if he starts one with Miz, that's minuscule, mediocre work. This will put him directly in the limelight. Anybody disrespects him, he can lay them out. She can also add another woman on her side. Make it Jordan Grace if you can't have Piper Niven do it. Or pull one of the girls from NXT that ain't doing shit and have them do it. You know what I'm saying? You can have Zarya come up, and Zarya's not going to be doing nothing but being an enforcer, right? And she's not going to be doing what Piper was doing, where it's just jokey and gimmicky. I'm talking about legit enforcer work. You let Matt Cardona run interference for Chelsea like this, like he's put to put it this way, he's going to be her cup. He's going to be out there talking cash shit on Chelsea's behalf. He's going to be running interference, people talking, running their mouths. He's going to be arrogant, cocky, pompous, bold, loud, brash, the whole nine. But Chelsea is the champion. The same way they used to do with China and Triple H, and when China was with Eddie Guerrero, the same way they used to do when Deborah was with Stone Cold Steve Austin. But instead of making it the woman who is subservient, make the man be subservient. It's the better story, and she's the champion, and it just would work. It would work. I was so lost during that segment. It's because it's gross. It's because it's gross. Manslaughter, they don't have to expire. They can breathe. They can just have a sip to sip through a straw. I can't. Aaliyah's ready to murder them. I think the vision is on the way. Ugh. I remember Nadia and Jamie Noble together. They was cute and funny together. Yeah. Okay. So I just wish she had more going for herself than that. And then it just looked like Logan Paul. He offers nothing. He's probably supposed to be healed up in a couple months, and then they're going to give that tag team title back to him. So whatever. But it seems Brian Breaker is in his feelings. Now I've said this before, but jealousy, she's an ugly color on you, Bronny. She is an ugly color. Now, they asked him, hey, given what happened last week, is there anything that you would like to say to Obafemi? He was like, anything I got to say to that man, I can say it to his face. Walked past everybody and went out there. Maxine and Austin Theory are literally about to fuck right there in front of Logan Paul, and he just standing there. It's a sad day in the WWE when Logan Paul ain't got shit to do. Okay, no bitches, no nothing. It's just nasty work in my opinion. Brian Breaker goes out there, calls out Obafemi, and says he ready to go at it right now. We gonna prove that who is really the future of WWE because it ain't you. And Paulina come out there. I said, oh, this is nice. This is new. I didn't expect you. So where we going with this? Paulina comes out and Paulina says, you need to relax. You need to chill. And of course, Obafemi's music hits. And as Oba comes down there, does his entrance, goes in the ring, Obafemi's like, I know you hear them. I know you hear it. He was like, you keep asking who the future of WWE is, but I think you already know the answer to that question. And then what took me out is when he mocked Braun Breaker. When I tell you, I said, bitch, was it spot on? It most definitely was. Oh, he got Braun Breaker's lighting the ass together. Do you hear me? Got him together, baby. Child. Brian Breaker thought shit was sweet. And he came out there and got the pitch right and everything. I said, ooh, perfect pitch. I bet you he can sing. I bet you he can sing. Because people who can sing can like they can do a perfect pitch when they're imitating people. And he had perfect pitch. It was perfect. Anyway, Brian Breaker said, your little ass know who the future is. Paul Heyman knows who the future is. The people know who the future is. And most importantly, Brock Lesnar knows who the future is. And the future is Oba Femi. And Brian Breaker is just like, I'm going to beat your ass. I'm going to beat your ass. So he's stepping towards him. And Paulina's like, hold up. Hold up. Wait a minute. Hold on. Now look. We don't just answer to the fans at home and to the fans in this arena. We answer to shareholders. We answer to the powers that be. And you know, or at least two of us in this ring know that this kind of match is not something that you just do willy-nilly on a random Monday night without no announcement and no big to do in production. Now we got shit we got to do. This is not just about you. And if you're gonna be the future, then one of us needs to understand that. He was looking at Brian Breaker. Now, he says, you want to prove that you're the future. Fine. Then you both can compete in a match on a bigger stage where everybody's going to be clamoring to see it. These are two main eventers. You don't put two main eventers on a random Monday for a big match like this. So I've already set it up with Adam Pearce. It's going to be Braun Breaker versus Obafemi at Sunday Night Main Event on September 6th in Braun Breaker's hometown. And we will see who the true future of WWE is. And he dropped his mic. Braun Breaker dropped his mic. He was proud of his tribal chief, his wise man, his oracle. And so they ended up leaving the ring, and Braun Breaker was already out. But Paulina ended up going back in the ring to shake Obafemi's hand, and Braun Breaker did not like this. Him was quite confused. Why are you shaking my op's hand? Like, why are you acting like this toward my op, though? I don't know. Could it be that he trusts your op to do what he says he's going to do, whereas you keep failing at everything you do? I don't know, man. I don't know. But it sounds like an idea to me. Not Queen Sharmila King Booker. They showed that skinny picture of Bronson Reed, and I was like, why is this on TV? Child, when he has nothing to do, it's kind of nice. That glitching fool always in his feelings. Always. Bronson Reed is insane. I've never seen Bronson Reed look like that before. And I am terrified when that man comes back. Terrified. Now, the match is set, and it seems that there are two matches set for Sunday night main event. We've already gone over Roman, and it's very possible. Thank you, baby. It's very possible that Roman Reigns could face off against LA Knight, or he could face off against Solo Sikoa at Sunday night main event. You have to remember, Sunday night main event is in Atlanta, and while Cody is a hometown boy and Braun Breaker is a hometown boy, so is Roman Reigns in a way. Roman Reigns went to college there. It's a big town that loves Roman Reigns deeply. So him being a part of that show is inevitable. Now I don't know when they decide or when they're going to decide to book this, but they have time. And they seem to be letting the storyline between Solo, LA, and the Bloodline breathe a little bit. This might be because they're waiting for Royce to show back up and they're going to need a fourth. And I'm very curious as to who their fourth is going to be. But with all that being said, ladies and gents, that was Monday Night Raw. I don't think I missed anything. There was a Danhausen thing over on social media. He was trying to get a championship match, but it didn't work out with Adam Pearce. But other than that, I don't remember it being anything else. Everything seemed to be pretty straightforward for Monday Night Raw. There wasn't a lot of backstage vignettes or vignettes to see other than what we got with the Usos and the Bloodline, and of course, what we got with Braun Breaker and the Vision. Those are the two main storylines that are really working. And you've got Liv Morgan, Becky Lynch, and Stephanie Vacquier rounding up that third realm. And of course, you still have the IC title scene with Soul and Lyra going after Raquel, I'm assuming eventually. So it seems like Raw is finally at a place where it can roll with the storylines and make things fun again. Now, once this tournament is over, I don't know what they're going to use to fill that time, but I really, really hope that they use that time wisely and put matches up. Now, next week, Stephanie Becker is supposed to go up against Roxanne Perez. You're also supposed to have the semifinals of the tournament next week. And there's something else that I'm missing. I'm not sure that I remember, but you know what? It's fine. It's cool. It's good. It's good. I will be back. You guys can come in and I can do three players at a time and we can have a good time. I can come up with a couple more Jeopardy games, make it really fun and a little bit more difficult, you know? So if you want to do that this Wednesday, that'll be cool. And we'll still do SBC chat and all that other good stuff. But let me know. I'm going to post it in the community tabs and you guys can vote or comment over there. Or I'll post a small video and you can vote under that video as well. It might be a short or something. So let me know when I post and you guys, I will see you guys on Wednesday. We're going to go over NXT. Zilla Fatu is in NXT, so that's a big thing. And we'll have to talk about that. And of course, there are a few PLEs that we are going to have to talk about. The cool thing about TNA that I want to tell you guys about is they have a PLE coming up, which I believe is on the 23rd of August. I'm not quite sure if it's the 23rd or if it's the end of the week. But they have a PLE coming up, and it's called Lockdown. And every single match in that PLE is inside a steel cage. I'm going to put up a video over on Down for the Count detailing everything for all the other shows that I don't cover over here. And I'm going to quickly cover Raw, SmackDown, and all the other stuff over there as well. So don't worry. Down for the Count is coming back soon as well. And the podcast is up for Don and I. We did a podcast last week. It was about community and friendships. It was a fun time talking to the boys about that stuff. And hopefully we'll do something new this week as well. So make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for listening to me ramble. I love you guys, and I'll see you on Wednesday.
Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe for more wrestling content. Check out our merch and consider becoming a member for exclusive perks, special emojis, and members-only content.